Hello everyone. Now welcome to double interpreting system seminar. Today we'll cover question number one, and this question number one that you need to record the business transactions, and then you need to do the balance of the account, and after that you need to prepare trial balance. So first of all, remember that when the business does pay, does buy, does sell, it's all classified as a business transaction or account transaction. So we have to draw T accounts in order to record these transactions. So on the debit side we call it, on the left side we call it debit, and on the credit side or on the right side we call it credit. So there are account rules for debit and credit. If you go to the slide, you can see these rules. You must know them by heart. This is the only way to practice it. Let's start. 1st of September, capital of £10,000 was invested by the owner into a business bank account. So very simple. Each transactions you need to identify the two accounts available, and if you look at this, the two accounts are capital and bank. So what happened in the bank account? The bank account is money in. In terms of bank account, any money in should be on the debit side and any money out should be on the credit side. So here this means our bank, or when I say our, means I'm referring to the business bank account. So our bank account goes up by £10,000. So we wrote beside it capital. This is only as a reference. Means that okay, our bank goes up by £10,000. Why? From where? From through the capital. And we raised up capital, and all capital is recorded on the credit side. And again, you write here beside the opposite account. So according to the debit and credit rules, all capital are recorded in the credit side. If you know one account is debit or credit, you are certain about, so the other account must be the opposite. So one must be debit and the other one must be credit. So next one, purchased were bought for the business 2,250 paying by check. So there are purchases here, and when I say he purchases, I mean goods. Purchases were bought. These goods or these purchases we bought for resale. These are the stock inventory. In this case, we need to open T account for purchases and T account, of course, for bank, because we paid by check. But now, if the transaction does tell you that the business bought computers or laptops or buildings or machinery, equipment, fixtures and fittings, these are not classified as purchases. These are fixed assets. So you do not record them under the purchases. Why? Because these for the business use. It's not for resale. So unless the business, for example, if you talk about car dealer, of course the car dealer would be the cars or the inventory, the stock, and should be purchases. But I'm talking about Pizza Hut, when they buy delivery vehicle to deliver to customer, these are classified as fixed assets. You need to open T account for each, or you open T account for fixed assets and you can list them all under fixed assets. So here purchases for 2,250 paying by check. In this case, what you need to do, our bank account goes down on that because it's money out. Why? Because of purchases, and you need to open T account for purchases, and all purchases are recorded on the debit side. For the third transaction, or 5th of September, both fixtures and fittings 850 paying by check. Again, it's money out. Where is it? It's money out. Again, it is 850. Why did our bank account go down by 850? Because fixtures and fittings. In this case, what you need to do, you need to open the account for fixtures and fittings here. Okay, You need to open T account for fixtures and fittings here, and of course you should be on the debit side. Why should be on the debit side? Because it's an asset. Fixtures and fittings are fixed assets, and all assets goes up on the debit side and goes down on the credit side. So our fixtures and fittings goes up by £850, and how do we pay for it? Through our bank. Next one, 8th of September, we have sold goods for £3,000, and how did we receive the payment? Through check. In this case, this is money in, isn't it? So money in. So as you see, our bank account goes up on the debit side because it's money in, so goes up on the debit side because of money in. Why did our bank go up? Because of sales. In this case, you need to open T account for sales, and as you said, if you open T account for sales here, so as you see, it's a 3,000, but it's all should be recorded on the credit side because sales are recorded on the credit side according to the debit and credit rules, and all purchases are recorded on the debit side, obviously each other. Eighth of September, paid wages 250 by check. So here, what you consider here, that expenses paid and by our bank. In this case, what you need to do here, again, very simple. What we need to do here, guys, we need to deduct, or it's money out on the credit side of bank account 250. Why the bank account go down by 250 again? Because of wages. Because of wages. In this case, you need to open T account for wages, as you see, and should be on the debit side, 250. So remember, wages is a type of expense, and all expenses should be recorded on the debit side. Okay. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Right, here we go. Right. 18th of September, we have, 18th of September, we bought some purchases on credit. Here we go. Now, we bought some purchases, which is purchases account, but here on credit for 2,500. So what do I mean by on credit? That's the question. What do I mean by on credit? On credit means that we bought the goods from supplier X, maybe, so shall we say Tesco? We bought the goods from Tesco, but we have not paid Tesco yet. That's mean on credit. The process to pay it to Tesco. In this case, bank is not involved because we haven't paid. Yeah. So what is the account which replaces the bank? The account would be the creditor. So Tesco is our creditor. See, we owe them money, isn't it? So what is the accounting term for this? It's trade payable. In this case, what you need to do, you need to record the purchases, which is very simple here on the debit side. As you see, £2,500, you recorded here, symbol on the debit side because all purchases recorded on the debit side, and you write beside the trade payable. What does that mean? This means, yes, we bought, but we haven't paid the money yet. In this case, what you need to do, you need to open T account for trade payable. So this is creditor. Okay, Tesco, for instance. Yeah. And of course, should be on the credit side. So this creditor, our creditor Tesco, we owe them 2,500. Why? Because of purchases. Trade payable is a liability to our business, and so that's what should be recorded on the credit side because all liabilities goes up on the credit side and goes down on the debit side. So now what happened, right? I'm gonna skip to 23rd of September. 23rd of September, what happened? From the £2,500, which is we bought from Tesco on a credit, we paid 1,630 of them. Yeah. So in this case, what we need to do, our bank should be going down by 1,630, and the trade payable account or the creditor account Tesco should be going down by £1,630. Right, let's have a look. In this case, what we need to do here, our bank should be going down by £630. Why? Because we paid the Tesco, our creditor, trade payable, and you need to reduce the trade payable account on the opposite side, of course, on the debit side, because liabilities go down on the debit side by 1,630. How did we pay? How did we reduce the amount? How did we pay Tesco? It's through our bank account. Okay. So now the next one, or the previous one we skipped, 20th of September. So what happened on 20th of September? We sold goods for £2,650 on a credit, right? On credit. So means as a business we sold, sales is involved, but on a credit. So we sold goods for £2,650 to customers, to Selena, on a credit. Okay, what does that mean? This means we haven't received the money yet. Selena hasn't paid us yet. In this case, Selena is our debtor. Trade receivables. Okay, this is the term I'm looking for. What we need to do as a sales, you need to record it easy on the credit side, because all sales are recorded on the credit side. And what we write beside it, trade receivables, debtor. This means we haven't received the money yet. So you need to open the account for trade receivables, and of course the trade receivables go up on the debit side because it's an asset. An asset goes up on the debit side and go down on the credit side. So this is trade receivable, debtor, Selena. So Selena owes us as a business £2,650. That's why her account goes up on the debit side. And why? Because of sales. Because of sales. So what happened here? Last transaction, out of £2,650, Selena paid us £720 from trade receivables by check. We received from Selena $720. In this case, what we need to do, guys, in this case, we need to, our bank account should be going up on the debit side, as you see. Here we go, 720 by 720 because of trade receivables, because we received the money, isn't it? So now for trade receivables account, what we need to do, we need to reduce the trade receivables account. So how to reduce the trade receivables account? Of course, on the opposite side, on the credit side, 720. How did we receive the money? Buyback. Buyback. Yeah, can you see? This means we reduce it on the credit side because assets it decrease on the credit side. So these all the transactions, so we record them. After that we need to balance off, and after that we need to do the trial balance. These two steps easy, but the most important thing is this first step. So right, let me show you how to balance off the account. So I will show you only one account, how to balance off the account for one account, and you can do the rest. Very simple and easy. Just you need to follow these steps, please. The first one, bank account. The first step, take the larger side. Take the larger side. So which side is the larger? Of course, this one, isn't it? This one. Because if you look here, is the larger, of course, from this. Yeah. So in this case, the first step, you need to close the two sides. You need to close the two sides by the larger amount, which is £13,720. Easy. Second step, as you see here, if you look at this side and you look at this side, okay, they are not equal each other. Yeah, as you see, they are not equal, isn't it? So how much I need to put here to balance the figure, or to balance the two sides? Balancing figure would be, of course, the 13,720 minus all of these. That gives us how much? £8,720. £8,740, isn't it? £8,740. So this is the balancing figure, and we call it a CD. CD stands for carried down. Some answers you can see it's CF, same, carried forward. The last step, you copy paste this one, yeah, you copy paste this one, and you move it, look, you move it to the other side. You move it to the other side of the account. Yeah, you move it to the other side of the account, and this time you write beside it brought down. You write beside it what? Brought down. Brought down, BD, or some answers you can find BF, mean brought forward or brought down. So both are right. So once you balance off the account, so what you need to do, you just copy paste this one, £8,740 under the debit side on the bank account, and you go to the trial balance. When you prepare a trial balance, yeah, when you prepare a trial balance, what you need to do here, guys, you just need to put it on the debit side, bank on the debit side, £8,740. So you follow the last step when you prepare the trial balance. So it's very simple, straightforward. For the trial balance, you just copy paste the numbers after you balance off the figures. So of course, if the right side, okay, is more than the left side, in this case we would expect that the final figure would be here, isn't it? So will be the bank will be minus, will be money out minus. In this case, we would have it here, not here. So will be, we know that it's money out. We know it's money out. We know it's money out. Okay. Yeah, that's all from question number 1. So again, guys, as I said, I'm covering question number 1, the one I covered in the seminar. Remember, guys, this is the most challenging question. Remember something. I know sometimes it's not easy to get debit and credit from the first time. It's a bit challenging. I understand this, but I trust me, the only way to get it right is to practice. Once you know the debit and credit rules, you should be able to know them by heart, and you should be able to practice on many questions, and in this case you will get it right. This is the only way you will get it right. So do not give up. So practice, practice, practice transactions, and I promise you would be fine. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. All the best. Bye bye.